Well, everybody, it's still snowing. Looks like bigger flakes.
17 children were returned to Kyiv today, and most of them have parents. Ines Garislav said when she called the director at the camp to try and get her son returned, she says she was told that officials didn't believe she was his mother. Garislav's son, Vitaly Vertash, says he thought he would only be there for 2 weeks, but it turned into over 5 months. He says he and another child ran away at one point. Police captured us on the second day. They took my telephone. Garislav and the rest of the parents eventually got their children back with the help of a foundation called Save Ukraine. The foundation paid for the trip and organized logistics, which took the mothers through Poland, Belarus, and eventually Russia.
If we didn't do this, they never able to do it themselves.
Mykola Kuleba is the founder of Save Ukraine. He says Russia is trying to paint its deportation of the children as a good thing.
But they have no any rights as aggressor to touch any family, any child, and they must be punished in Ukrainian court or in Hague.
All of the families are now receiving social and psychological help, and Kuleba says his group will keep working to try and bring more Ukrainian children back home. Briar Stewart, CBC News, London.
Russia has stepped up its missile and drone attacks in Ukraine, including striking an apartment building in Zaporizhia. President Volodymyr Zelensky says Moscow is targeting civilians. As the war drags on, families are fleeing Ukraine, and many have come to Canada. Immigration Minister Sean Fraser says Ottawa will extend the emergency visa application for those looking for a safe haven.
As Ukrainians continue to contend with the effects of this unlawful invasion, we reiterate our message to Ukraine. Canada will continue to support you. As my colleague MP Nakvi mentioned just a moment ago, certainly the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian territory is under attack, but so are the values that we hold most dear in Canada.
The deadline to apply was originally March 31st. That's been extended to July 15th. The visa allows Ukrainians to work or study here and extends federal financial supports to help people get on their feet once they arrive. Ukrainians fleeing the war were part of the record number of people who came to Canada last year. This country's population grew by more than 1 million. It is the biggest jump since the mid-1950s. Back then, the post-war baby boom was responsible. Now international migration accounted for more than 95% of the increase. The numbers came as a surprise to Ontario Premier Doug Ford.
Stats Canada comes out, and they said last year, 450,000 people landed here in Ontario and calling this home. And that's why we need the schools, the hospitals, the bridges, the infrastructure, and especially the homes.
More than 600,000 newcomers to Canada were non-permanent residents, including Ukrainians. It's not clear how many of them will decide to stay. Air Force One will be arriving in Ottawa tomorrow afternoon, and Joe Biden will make his first visit to Canada as President of the United States. He is expected to pressure this country to lead an international military force to Haiti, a mission to contain lawlessness and gang violence, something members of the Canadian Armed Forces say is easier said than done. Evan Dyer has more.
It is a nightmare waiting for us to happen. If anybody thinks they can go in and do this easily, they need their heads.
This guy's a dangerous driver up ahead.
Conflict during his 44 years with the Canadian Army.
Driving like that and it's just a red light. Just turn green.
City of Wine Lanes, shanty towns, and about 3 million.
Now he's stuck.
Two-thirds of it under
And he's
control.
We could use
very impatient up ahead there. The guy to the right, beside the truck.
Have enough to deal with the city of that size.
General Steve Bowes headed the Canadian Joint Operations Command. He says Asian mission would have some things in common with Afghanistan.
For all intents and purposes, the gangs act as insurgents, so it's not dissimilar. It's not like people are going to be receiving the force, with open arms. No, by the way, they're so much better armed than they have been in the past.
As with the Taliban, Canadians would struggle to distinguish between friends, enemies, and neutrals. In Afghanistan, says McClure, the Canadian Army was often one step behind.
Essentially, if somebody wanted to remain
Big flakes, man,
Fish
coming
just
in now.
turn into a school of fish.
There's nothing, say the experts, to prevent gang members from simply hiding their guns when foreign soldiers show up and digging them out again the moment they leave. David Redpath, formerly of the British Army, is a senior war games designer for the Canadian Forces. He says it would be naive to expect a terrorized population to help the Canadians, and some would actively help the gangs.
I'm not going to hand over my son to a bunch of Canadian troops who come looking for him. I'm going to actually protect him, and hide his weapons. And they know this terrain, and they know their shanty towns, and they know the city better than we ever will.
That terrain is an enemy all by itself, says Redpath.
In highly dense areas where they're pretty much sort of higgledy-piggledy, buildings and so on and so forth, I just have to increase the number of
It's
troops.
falling
I've got,
pretty
even
good,
hold
man.
a very
Pretty good. Snowstorm. Big flakes now, man. Wow. Looks like chunks of snow falling out of the sky. And the Subaru guy, he's a very unsafe driver. Doesn't even have his lights on. Oh yeah, this is big snow. Gets covered up pretty quick. Looks nice. It's like one of those majestic type snowstorms, you know, it's like puts you in awe. Yeah, the road's getting covered up pretty good. Have a good one, everyone. Have a safe night. Be careful. Some areas could get slippery very quickly. Talk to you later.